for a race like this. As we are green once again, and we have got the stream back now. I do apologize. And how it stands at the minute, DL Branco is still on his way. Currently, he's trying to close. Well, Mandro, in fact, at the front, is actually trying to close the gap to him. He's trying to close the door a little bit. I've got a yellow in sector 3. I need to get the track map up, and that is Deadly Mosquito, who has spun at the back. Mandro's just trying to onto DL Branco. Obviously, this is going to be for pole position. Mandro comes round, still trying to close the gap as much as he can. He just can't quite find a way past DL Branco at the minute. You would think he's going to get DRS though on this lap 3, and he's closing in on DL Branco quickly. Maybe a little bit of oversteer on exit there. I think he's just about survived. DRS open. He might make the move down into Stowe here. Is he going to try and go around the outside or duck to the inside? Not quite close enough on that occasion. He'll have to try and get him down the Hamilton straight as they make their way into Vale. Nice and tidy through there, out of Vale, onto the Hamilton straight and down towards Abbey. Through Abbey to go, and then a heavy braking zone into Village. And still all over the back of that Alfa Romeo is Mandro as they make their way out of the loop and onto the Wellington straight. DRS open once again for Mandro. Is he going to try and make a move down here into Brooklands? It's going to be a bit tight. Can't get it done on that occasion either. Corner tightens up on you quite significantly. It's Mandro trying to close the gap a little bit more. And just can't quite do it at the minute. Like 4 out of 5 in this sprint race. He's going to have to make a move sooner rather than later. DRS open once again for Mandro. Is he going to be enough in the toe this time? We'll have to wait and see. Is he going to make a move down the inside? He's going to go for it. DL Branco's left the door open. Is he going to slam it shut? Not quite on that occasion. And that is Maestro off the road at Stowe. He's lost it coming through there, so he's going to drop down the back of the field. That's a disaster for his sprint race. As across the line once again to go on to the final lap of this sprint. DL Branco still defending hard. Mandro still trying to find a way through. He just can't find the room. And Maestro is out of the session after that spin at Stowe. So he is going to be down the order as well. A couple of the front runners not had a good. This sprint has really shook up the field, to say the least. Mandro's going to try and go down the inside at Brooklands. Can't quite get it done. DL Branco is still defending. Big points for this sprint race. 15 points for the winner. So it's going to do or die for these lot now. It's big championship points. As Mandro still trying to make a move. Once again, he just can't quite get there. He's got a lot closer to DL Branco on this occasion, though. It's do or die for him now if he wants to get pole position for the main race itself, as he makes his way out of Chapel onto the Wellington straight. He's got DRS on DL Branco. DL Branco goes defensive. Mandro is going to try and swoop round the outside. Is he going to get the move done? He's going to try and hang it out. Is he going to run wide in the process? Not quite, but he's going to get the inside for the chicane. Is he going to get it done on the last corner? It's side by side between the two of them as they make their way out of Vale. It's going to be a sprint to the line. Who's going to get it? I think Mandro's just got it. He's got it. It's unbelievable finish there between them two. 3,000, well, less than that. 3 milliseconds between them two out of the last corner. Mandro takes the sprint from DL Branco. Tom comes home in P3, Wreck Diver P4. Nice job on his debut. It's a very nice job from him. He's P5 on the grid. Vitrocity's P6, Endro Pro's P7, Collins P8, JB's P9, Benny's P10, Waffler's 11th, May's 12th, Yutansic's P13, Fazak P14, and Deadly Mosquito comes home in P15 to round out the remaining runners. What a finish that was. I think that might be the actual format from now on, because that was insanely close finish between them lot. As we see the sprint podium, and that man Mandro nicking it right at the last second. 15 championship points for him. Really sets himself away as the champagne gets sprayed. And guys, join us back shortly for the main race. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys, to the Global Racing Network. Here for the Global Racing League. The formation lap for the British Grand Prix is underway. And it should be a good one, this one. Obviously, we just caught the tail end of the sprint with an insane finish between these two, Mandro and DL Branco. 3 milliseconds between them across the line. Mandro nicked it on the outside round the last corner. Are we going to see more fireworks like that in this race? Well, 26 laps, so I would like to hope so. So Mandro's on pole position from DL Branco. Then Tom GoProf and Wreck Diver are on the second row of the grid in P3 and 4. Nice job, who did a nice job in that sprint race. On his debut is P5. I mean, that's pretty good going, really. Filling some big boots tonight of Donkey Max, who couldn't be with us. So nice job is P5. Atrocity's P6. NZ Pro and Colin are P7 and 8. And JB's P9. Benny's P10. Waffler's P11. May's P12. Your Tansik is down the order. He is in P13. Fazak is also down the order, he's down in P14. Deadly Mosquito is miles down. Maestro is P16 and Reap Physics at the back of the grid in P17. So it is a little bit of a shook up grid, this one. There's a couple of guys, Benny, May, Tansik, Deadly Mosquito and Reap Physics, that you would think would be comfortably inside the top 10, but they're not on this occasion. It is a very much a shook up grid. And it'll be interesting to see how everybody gets on as they make their way around the final turn. Ready to start this sprint race. They make their way round the final corner onto the start-finish grid. It should be a good race, this one. Like I say, 26 laps at the Silverstone circuit. We've already done 5 tonight in the sprint race, and it'll be interesting to see how they all get on as we wait for them 5 red lights to come on to begin this British Grand Prix here on the Global Racing Network, round 13 of the Global Racing League, as we go to 5 red lights here at Silverstone. It's lights out and away we go, and I think they've all just about got away well. Mandro's definitely got a good start. DL Branco has to tuck in and doesn't get there. Doesn't get to Abbey before him as they make their way through Abbey and down into Village for the first time. Mandro heavy on the brakes. I think DL Branco has just about held on. Wreck Diver behind is coming under attack from Nice Job, who's going to go down the inside of him. He's got his teammate Atrocity just behind him as well. Wreck Diver's going to try and fight his way back through, and I think he's taken Nice with him. Nice has spun and he's down the order quite dramatically. He is at the back of the field. You can just see the tail end of that creeping. And he has spun. He might have front wing damage, I'm not sure. We'll soon find out as Mandro makes his way left field. And this time, though, as the field is pretty well spread out, a battle that's going on behind, though, is Wreck Diver and Atrocity, as they're going to try and make their way through Maggots and Beckett's unscathed. Interestingly, Wreck Diver has opted for the medium tyre in this race, which is very interesting to say the least. Atrocity is going to try and get past him and make an advantageous effort on them soft tyres. But there is quite a few drivers on mediums out there, which I really didn't expect on board a Wreck Diver as we head down into the Vale chicane. And he's just about got through unscathed. His teammate Atrocity, like I say, is not far behind him as they make their way down the Hamilton straight at the end of lap 1. Mandro from standing start, 132. Nice job, as expected, is into the pit lane, and May is also into the pit lane, so he must have picked up damage from a bit of contact as well. And meanwhile, Waffler is in a Ferrari sandwich here, coming out of the loop, or a little bit of a Ferrari sandwich, I should say. Atrocity, in the meantime, has got past Wreck Diver, so he's got past his teammate. Tom is still trying to chase down DL Branco, but he's DL is making a little bit of space now on board with him. There's Tom just behind, in that Haas. Tom goes very wide, coming through Cop's corner there. I think he will get a warning for that one, as through Maggots and Beckett's fastest part of the racetrack. And I think we've got an incident at the back, and I think it's Reek Physic involved in that one. It is indeed. He spun it coming out of Cop's corner, so he's down the order. Backward DL'd. Once again trying to defend from Tom, and at the same time ahead of him trying to chase after Mandro. He's going to have to do the defending from Tom at the minute. Mandro 129.5, and May has been disqualified from the session. I'm not quite sure what that is, but he is going to be out of this race. Not 100% sure why, if he's caused an infringement or something, but he is out. So he is out of this race. DL Branco still defending hard from Tom as they make their way down the Wellington Straight. And DL Branco is losing a little bit of ground on Mandro here. There's Mandro ahead in the distance. The gap's 1.5 seconds now, so it certainly is going up between them two. Meanwhile, a bit further back, Colin is chasing down Wreck Diver. So you go on board with him. Down coming through Woodcote. He might try and see if he can. He's going to be within DRS range, but he's also got his teammate behind him of JB, who is not far behind, who's actually just gone a little bit wide coming out of Cops there. Loses the back end slightly. So come through the middle sector. JB just about hanging on. We get DRS on his teammate here just to bring him that little bit closer, but his teammate has got DRS ahead of him. Wreck Diver a bit further up the road is closing the gap on Vitrocity as they make their way down towards Vale. Hard on the brakes, gets the car turned in pretty nicely. He comes down the Hamilton Straight. Where is Colin in comparison? Not too far behind really, just over a second behind. He won't get DRS on Wreck Diver, but a man who will get DRS on Colin will be JB, as JB was in detection point. He's going to use DRS. He's also going to use his overtake mode to try and get past Colin. Colin's going to have to try and defend here. There's JB behind. JB going to try and go for a bit of a slingshot down the old pit straight as they make their way through Woodcote and down towards Cop's corner. It looks like JB might try and go for the move here. He's going to have to be brave if he does. Not quite on that occasion. Does keep the car well tucked in though, as we're going to go on board with him. Down through Maggots and Beckett's. It's so close between these two. As Colin just about hangs on for now, but JB is once again going to get DRS on him. This is surely going to be the move for the race lead, you would think. And it is indeed the race lead move. Well, sorry, not the race lead, the 6th place move, should I say. Getting my words all muddled up there, but JB slots himself through into P6. And meanwhile, Tom has got past DL Branco. Completely missed that one further up the road. So DL Branco is up. He's down the order, should I say. Tom is up the order, but it looks like DL might try and battle it out with him here. Maybe try and make it last. It's DL Branco still trying to make a move here. He got that little bit closer to Tom, but his gap has just gone slightly back up again. Tom is still going to try and defend pretty hard here. On board with DL Branco coming through Maggots and Beckett's and into Chapel. And who is that off the road? That is Nice Job off the road. That is down at Abbey. So that's a long way behind the leaders. The leaders might be close to lapping him on very shortly. Then going to the pit lane. DL Branco still trying to get past Tom and just can't find a way past that Haas at the minute. Meanwhile, a man who has found a way through is Fazak, who is battling away with Utancic. There's Utancic alongside him, and Utancic is behind as they make their way into the Vale chicane. So he gets that move done pretty well, really. So Fazak moves one better up the order. Wreck Diver trying to get past his teammate Atrocity. This is going to be an Aston Martin scrap down the Wellington Straight for the Silverstone based team. And they're very close, a home Grand Prix. And that British Racing green as Atrocity goes in a little bit deep into Luffield. Is Wreck Diver going to squeeze his way past? They're going to be side by side down through Woodcote, and Atrocity lets his teammate have the move in the end, and JB is going to be closing on to the back of these boys pretty quickly. He goes a bit wide coming through Cops. They made their way through Maggots and Beckett's once again. JB will try and make a move if he can down the the Hangar Straight, as JB has got DRS, Atrocity has also got DRS. Is JB going to send one down the inside? He had a look, just couldn't quite commit to the move. Will he have a look down into the Vale chicane? Goes a little bit late on the brakes and goes into the back of Atrocity, and that is JB round. He just outbraked himself a little bit too much, and that has cost him 6th place. His teammate Colin moves into 6th, and Maestro has gained a position out of all that as well. So that is JB down the order. I thought we were going to have a Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen moment there, with them both going into the back of each other. JB came off worse in that one. I think he's had a spin at Abbey again. There he is, going slowly. He's dropped down the order to P14. It's a long way down the order, that, and a long way to get back up. Meanwhile, back on board with Tom in the Haas, trying to make a move on DL Branco. He's got to try and make it sooner rather than later, you would think, before we get to the area of pit stops. And these boys both on the same tyre here, both on the mediums. It's a very, very big split between mediums and softs in this race. Tom's got DRS on DL Branco. He is going to try and make a move. DL Branco gives him room, very polite. Tom's going to try and slot past him on the inside into Vale. Is he going to be brave enough? Not quite. They made their way through. DL Branco just has to back out of it a little bit. Sorry, Tom has to back out of it a little bit. They're following each other through Abbey. Is this going to be the move for second place? And I think it is. Tom's going to try and go on the outside and gets the move done on DL Branco. And just for good measure, he's going to get DRS down this next straight because the detection point is before that corner. In fact, no, DL Branco gets it, so he must have been ahead of him before the corner. He's going to try and pass him down into Brooklands and gets the move done once again. So DL Branco back up into P2, Tom back down to P3. These boys are really giving it everything between these two. Tom's going to try and make a move again. Is he going to try and go around the outside into Cops? That's going to be a bit brave. Tom's going to try and swoop around the outside. DL Branco tucks in. He's going to try and stay with Tom as much as he can, and can't quite stay with him yet. He's going to have to tuck in behind Tom through Maggots and Beckett. But like I say, around this Silverstone circuit, it is very easy to follow a car. And he does follow him well and gets DRS for good measure. Tom's going to have to try and go defensive here, but swoops past round the outside. Goes DL Branco. Tom's going to try and come back at him. This is an insane battle between these two, and Tom almost goes off the road. Just about has a snap of oversteer and has to correct it. A bit of a Charles Leclerc that he did when he was battling with Lewis Hamilton this year. Had a bit of a snap of oversteer and had to correct it. So Tom's going to have to tuck in behind Branco here. As into Village we go once again. And Tom closes the gap once again to DL Branco. The Wellington straight. And out he comes, DRS open. He hasn't got a lot of overtake yet left to use. He's only got 6% of overtake left to use. Uses the DRS to keep him within touching distance of DL Branco while he charges his battery that little bit more. As out of left field. Is he going to use his battery down the old pit straight? He's going to try if he can. He hasn't quite got the slipstream on DL Branco on this occasion as they go into Cops, but DL Branco goes a little bit deeper into Cops. That's going to allow Tom to close back on him again. They made their way through Maggots and Beckett's into Chapel once again. And Tom's going to use overtake and DRS on this occasion. Is he going to try and get the move done on DL Branco? He's going to go to the inside into Stowe. DL Branco is going to stay there and try and hold it round the outside. Is he going to get the move done? They're still side by side going down into the Vale chicane. Who's going to be later on the brakes? The answer's DL Branco on that one, and he's going to try and hang it round the outside if he can. Is he about going to hang on? This is insane battle between these two. DL Branco hangs on by the skin of his teeth. But if these boys keep on battling, Wreck Diver and Vitrosity are not far behind this group, and they're going to catch on pretty quickly. Mandro is just sailing away at the front in that McLaren in their home Grand Prix. He has got a 4.5 second, well, more than 4.5 second gap now to these lot. Tom, DRS once again along with ERS. Is he going to go to the inside at Brooklands? He can't quite get the move done there. DL Branco does leave him a bit of space if he wants to think about it. DL Branco goes a little bit deep into left field. Tom has to correct himself on exit. It's getting really, really sketchy between these two boys as Tom's going to try and go to the inside into Cops. He tightens on and thinks better of it at the end of the day. So once again, back down into Maggots and Beckett's. They're just at it, are these two, all the way around this lap. We've got yellow in sector 1 and 2. That is NZ Pro, who has had a spin at Brooklands. He's back on his way though, so there won't be a safety car for that. So Tom's going to try and close in on DL Branco once again. Will he try and make a move on him down into the Vale chicane? Is he going to brake late? He brakes later than him, but only has enough to close the gap that little bit more. Tom heads out, lap 11 out of 26 we're going on, and the first round of pit stops are underway. Atrocity has entered the pit lane, so he's going to get that underway. But still, DL Branco hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Once again, Tom, DRS, down the Wellington straight. Is he going to try and make a move into Brooklands? Not quite on this occasion, a bit too far back once again. Just can't quite get the power down quick enough, can Tom, at the minute, just to make that move. And he is closing, but he's not closing significantly enough through Cops once again. They're pretty much nose to tail still. They make their way around the rest of the lap. But Tom still can't quite make that move that he needs to. He hasn't even got DRS, and only uses DRS very late. Coming down towards Stowe, he's going to try and go around the outside of DL Branco. DL Branco gives him room down into Vale. Again, can't quite get it done. DL Branco is doing some marvellous defending tonight. As meanwhile, Waffler's trying to get past JB for the final points position. He's got DRS on him down the hanger straight, down towards Stowe. He's going to try and go on the outside of JB and swoops around the outside. Great move from him up into 10th place. And some more pit stops. Mandro, our race leader, is into the pit lane. And looks like he's stuck in his pit box by the looks of things. And he is stuck there. That's a disaster for... Oh, Mandro has got out. It was just a very delayed pit stop by the looks of things. It was game was just catching up on itself. Meanwhile, DL Branco is now defending for the race lead against Tom. So once again, they make their way through Maggots and Beckett's. These boys are all on the medium tyres, so they can go a little bit longer on these, just to try and make that final stint a little bit shorter. Tom DRS down the hanger straight, just to move him a bit closer again. He has dropped back a little bit on DL Branco here. Gaps up to 0.6 of a second now, and they're both following each other into the pit lane, so they're both in. And where's this going to bring them out? That is the big call. Is Mandro doing the undercut? Has that paid to his advantage? Well, we'll soon find out. Mandro's coming round Stowe corner now, so I think he will get ahead of these boys. DL Branco in, both these boys pit stops next to each other, and DL Branco does get out ahead of Tom. They make their way, and Mandro's just passing these boys now, so he's going to stay ahead of them, but they'll come out behind Mandro, which is not the biggest disaster in the world. Meanwhile, Deadly Mosquito is trying to defend from Vitrosity here. Vitrosity might have a look down the inside into Village, thought about it, and just was a little bit reluctant to make the move stick. However, he'll get a better exit and will get DRS down the Wellington straight. DRS is open. He's going to try and make the move down into Brooklands and swoops round the inside of Deadly Mosquito, moves himself up to P8. He's already made his stop as Vitrosity, so that's going to put him in net 4th currently, if my maths is correct. With Tansik, Colin, Wreck Diver and Maestro still to make their pit stops. Maestro's staying out for another lap. Wreck Diver's staying out at the minute. Colin stays out. Mandro has just got past Tansik actually for 4th position, so he's going to stay in. Is Tansik going to dive in? No, he's staying out for a bit longer as well, so it's all to play for between everybody else. Tansik chasing, gonna have to try and chase back down Mandro, even though he will be pitting shortly. At 14 out of 26, more than halfway through this race. Well past the halfway point now. Tansik exits, and that's NZ Pro, who has retired on the main straight, on the second national pit straight, and it's a full course safety car, so he is out of the running. Mandro's about to come past the incident, so we'll see what has happened with him. Has he lost it coming out of Woodcote? He has indeed. He's actually gone into the pit wall. That's a really bizarre one to have, is that, but that means NZ Pro is out of the race, and it means anyone else who hasn't pitted is going to be at an absolutely massive advantage coming in. So Maestro, Red Diver and Colin will surely come in this lap. I mean, if they stay out, and Maestro staying out, that is a very interesting call indeed. Wreck Diver's done the sensible thing and boxed. I'm sorry, Maestro is in actually. For some reason, hang on a second, did he cut across the track then? Because it didn't look like he was going in then. That'll be one for the steward's room later on, because I think he missed the pit entry there, and he'd seen that everyone else was reacting to that situation. Mandro retakes the lead. Dale Branco and Tom go through. Wreck Diver is going to come out in 4th behind Maestro and Colin. There's the queue up behind the safety car. Got the Aston Martin safety car this evening. They queue up behind the safety car on lap 15. Guys, we're going to take a quick break, as always, and we'll be back shortly for the restart. Welcome back, guys, to the Global Racing Network. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap to get the remainder of GRL round 13 underway. Well, restarted, should I say, as the safety car peels in. Mandro is gone for it pretty early, to be fair. He's gone for it now, and we are green here on lap 18. And we've just had a car dive into the pit lane. That is Waffler, who has entered the pit lane at the start, at the restart. So he clearly thinking he needs some tyres. They make their way out of the loop onto the Wellington straight. Waffler's actually retired in the pit lane, so his day is done. So that might be a mechanical fault rather than an incident, or him just needing tyres. Steel Branco chasing down Mandro hard here. Steel Branco still trying to make a move, but he's going to come under attack from Tom here as well. Here on lap 19, we've got a spinner down at Vale Chicane. That is Deadly Mosquito, who has had a moment, and we've also had another moment. That is Vitrocity in the wall at Abbey. So he has lost the back end of that car. Mandro still defending hard. Meanwhile, Tom's trying to get past DL Branco, where he's trying to make a move on board of him, going down towards Vale. We're about to go on to lap 20 with 6 to go in this race, and DRS is re-enabled for the remainder of it. So this will bring into play who's going to make the move now. It's going to be a three-way battle for the race lead. We've got another yellow. That is JB off the road at Abbey this time, and he's done the exact same thing as Vitrocity did early on. DL Branco's going to try and make a move for the race lead though on Mandro. He got the DRS, he got the drag, he's going to try and go around the long way. It might leave him vulnerable to Tom here on the exit as they make their way once again down the old pit straight. They're going to be summing into Cop's corner. Tom has a look and thinks better of it, just going to follow him through on this occasion, but DL Branco has a bit of a wobble and goes off the road. It's going to allow Tom to get that little bit closer, and DL Branco might lose out here quite significantly if he doesn't get going. DRS once again. Tom's going to try and follow him as much as he can. They're trying to break the toe on each other down the straight. DL Branco right onto the back of Mandro now, as out of Stowe they come down towards Vale. Is DL Branco going to make a lunge into the Vale chicane? Not quite on this occasion. Once again, Tom continuing to follow them, and he's just waiting there to pick up the scraps whenever that may be. And he would like something to happen sooner rather than later, and that's Mandro off the road, and he's into the barrier, Abbey, and the race leader has spun it and lost the back end of that McLaren, and that is him all the way down to 10th place on the racetrack. That is an absolute disaster for him. I knew something was going to happen. It was just going to be a matter of time of when it was going to happen. So that, and then there were two. So Dale Branco remains in the race lead. Tom remains second place. It's only a matter of time before something happens between these two, you would like to think, as they make their way through Copse once again. Lap 21 out of 26, 5 laps to go. It's going to be a sprint to the end in this Global Racing League, round 13. The shook up grid order after the sprint race has really opened the floodgates, and Tom's got DRS on Dale Branco here. Is he going to make the move round the outside? He's going to have a go on it. I think he might have got the move done. Yes, he's got the move done. You can see Dale Branco in the mirrors there. So he has to slot in behind Tom. And Tom has a bit of a wobble on exit. That's going to bring Dale back into play. Is he going to make a lunge down into Abbey? Can't quite make the move there. But is he going to make a lunge down into Village? He waits for the DRS, to be fair. That's not a bad idea, really, to be given the circumstances. He's going to try and go the long way. Meanwhile, that is Colin off the road at the loop. So he's lost it. Back to the leaders. Dale Branco down the inside on Tom. Is he going to get the move done? Yes, he is. Swoops down the inside of Tom into Brooklands through Luffield once again. And Tom might try and come back at him down towards Copse for this time. Is there going to be a move made? It's going to be a matter of time. They're going to go side by side with each other through Copse. They're giving each other space, which is really polite of each of them. And is Tom going to get the move done into Maggots? Yes, he does. Completes the move, tidies it off. And Dale Branco loses out on this occasion, but he's going to get DRS on Tom down the hanger straight. Is he going to try and make a move down towards Stowe? I think he might get the move done before the corner, and he does indeed. Swoops down the inside. The swapping position like yo-yos are these boys. At the minute, is Tom going to try and get back at him in Vale? Who's that? That's Maestro sending it down the inside of the two of them. I didn't even see that coming. And Maestro gets into the race lead because of it. Tom's going to try and pass him down into Abbey. Has to tuck in on that occasion. I didn't even see Maestro being involved in this one. As Dale Branco is going to try and send it. Tom sends it down the inside of Maestro. It's really, really tight between these two. This is a sensational British Grand Prix, and it's so tight between the lot of them. Tom's going to pull away with DRS, and Dale Branco's going to get DRS on Maestro, and Maestro is going to fall down the order, and he's going to have to settle down for third place. But I didn't even see Maestro being involved in this battle until a few laps ago. But he's just completely, he was there and he was ready to pounce. I didn't even realise how close he was, and not far behind them either is Wreck Diver. This could be any one of these four could win this race, and it's going to be so close getting towards the end as they make their way through Maggots and Beckett's once again. Looks like Wreck Diver is struggling for a little bit of grip though. The others are pulling away from him slightly. As DRS for each of them once again. That's Dale Branco going down the inside of Tom, swoops down the inside of him into Stowe. So he gets the move done. Back on board with Wreck Diver. Is Tom going to try and come back at him? Not on this occasion he is, but Maestro is there ready to pounce. Has a little bit of kick of oversteer on exit. Down the Hamilton straight once again. Maestro watching this battle very closely, and he's ready to pounce once again if the opportunity arises. Into Village we go. Tom goes around the outside of Dale Branco and gets the move completed on exit. He'll get DRS to pull away from Dale Branco for good measure as well. as Tom maintains the race lead for now. DL Branco is starting to lose a little bit of ground to him. We've got a yellow down at Brooklands. That is a spinning nice Fazak off the road. Sorry, yes it is Fazak off the road at Brooklands. He's got on his way again though. Lap 24 out of 26 and it's still anybody's race this. They're all going to draft each other once again down the hanger straight. Using as much DRS. DL Branco goes to the inside and gets past Tom once again. He gets out of it and that is Vetrosity retired. He's retired in the pit lane though, so he's done the right thing. So DL Branco re-inherits the race lead. That should not cause a safety car hopefully, because he has done the right thing and retired in the pit lane. Tom's still battling hard ahead. Is he going to try and make the move on DL Branco? Just can't quite get it done on that occasion. Maestro closes the gap on them though in this occasion. Got a yellow in sector 1. Now that's for the same car again. Tom uses DRS to close him a little bit closer to DL Branco, but Maestro is there and ready to pounce if the opportunity arises. He pounced a few laps ago and got himself into the race lead, but it's just fallen down the order due to not being able to keep up with DRS. Mandro's done the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but he's outside the top 10 at the minute, so he will not get that fastest lap point. He needs to close an 11-second gap to Deadly Mosquito if he is going to hang on to that point. Maestro runs a little bit wide on exit there. Again, we'll get DRS down the straight, but I think Tom is closer to make a move on DL Branco. On board with Tom into Stowe. Again, just can't quite make a move yet. Like I say, Maestro is not far behind these boys and he is ready to pounce if the opportunity arises. We're going to go on to the final lap of this GRL British Grand Prix, round 13 of the Global Racing League. And Tom can still not find a way past DL Branco. Maestro is still there, ready to pounce, and Maestro spins it in the loop. He loops it round, and that is him out of the equation. But no question whatsoever, he loses it on the last lap. That's a disaster for him. He's down to 5th place. I think he just planted the power a bit too early, and it's cost him dear in the end. Now it's do or die now for Tom. He needs to make a move on DL Branco if he's going to do it. He's going to try and close as much as he can down towards Copse Corner. Into Copse Corner they go. You can see Tom using as much ERS as physically possible as they make their way through Maggots and Beckett's once again. And Tom DRS down the Wellington straight just to close that gap a little bit more. If he's going to do it now, he's going to have to send it as hard as he can into the Vale chicane. This could be a very close finish between these two. Is Tom going to go for the move? He's not close enough on that occasion. Will he try and get him on exit? I don't think he has, and I think he's run out of time. DL Branco wins the GRL British Grand Prix. Wreck Diver actually comes home in 2nd place due to Tom having a significant amount of penalties at the end. Reek Physic comes home P4, Maestro comes home for P5. In fact, Noise Job comes home for P4 because he didn't get a single penalty. Reek Physic's P5, Yatansic comes home P6, Maestro with all his penalties down in P7, Fazak's P8, Collins P9, Deadly Mosquito will come home for P10. Mandro, after making the mistake, even though he got the fastest lap, he won't get any points today. He is going to finish in P11, and Benny is going to finish down in P12. Well, that was a great race, was that? Really enjoyable was that one. And it's a different winner. DL Branco takes the GRL British Grand Prix after a shook-up grid. Reek Physic gets driver of the day due to his efforts on the last lap, making his way up the field. And what a great race that was. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.